Good day everyone, my name is Markland John Endrampas and welcome to my video presentation. And our topic for today is all about classical movements and techniques. Naturalism. Proponents John Constable flourishing context emerged in the 19th century in Europe, influenced by the Industrial Revolution and the rise of photography as a reaction against idealized academic traditions. Next, beliefs and practices. Focuses on depicting reality without embellishment, portraying subjects in their natural habitats with visual accuracy and meticulous detail. It often involved plain or outdoor painting, artistic interpretation in John Constable's The Haywen 1821. The focus is on the authentic and manipulated English countryside scene, using detailed observation to capture the specific light and atmosphere of the landscape. Humanism. A flourishing context. A core philosophy of the Renaissance 14th 17th centuries, originating in Florence, driven by the rediscovery of classical Greek and Roman texts and philosophies. Next, beliefs and practices emphasize the value, dignity, and potential of human life and reason, shifting the focus from the divine to the human experience. Artworks often featured classical subjects and ideal human forms. Next is artistic interpretation. Leonardo da Vinci's Vitruvian Man 1490 reflects humanist ideals by depicting the perfectly proportioned human figure within a circle and square, symbolizing the individual as the measure and center of the universe, bridging the earthly and divine realms through science and art. Fresco painting. Michelangelo Raphael Giotto. Used since antiquity, Minoan's Romance, it reached its peak during the Italian Renaissance for large-scale murals in church and palaces. Beliefs and practices. A durable technique involving applying pigments mixed with water onto fresh with lime plaster bone fresco. The paint becomes chemically bound with the wall as it dries, making it long-lasting. Sandro Botticelli Andro Giotto. Flourishing context. The primary medium for panel painting and manuscript illumination in the Byzantine and medieval periods, before being largely replaced by oil paint during the late Renaissance. Beliefs and practices. A fast-drying, water-based medium, typically using egg yolk as a binder, known for its durability, precise detail, and a matte finish. It requires meticulous layered application. Artistic interpretation. Sandro Botticelli's The Birth of Venus, 1485, painted with tempera on canvas, showcases the medium's capacity for sharp lines, vibrant color, and intricate details in the depiction of the mythological subject. Oil painting. Proponents John van Eyck, Leonardo da Vinci. Flourishing context. Developed and gained popularity in Northern Europe in the 15th century, then spread to Italy, largely superseding tempera as the preferred medium. Beliefs and practices. Uses oil like linseed oil as a binder, allowing for slow drying, easy blending, rich color depth, and subtle tonal gradation. Artistic interpretation. John Van Eyck's The Arnold Finney Portrait, 1434, exemplifies the Northern Renaissance mastery of oil, utilizing its properties to create highly realistic texture, luminous colors, and an illusion of depth with meticulous detail. So for the next is modern art movements. Impressionism. Proponents: Claude Monet. Flourishing context. Paris in the 1860s, 1880s, influenced by new synthetic pigments and a desire to capture modern life and fleeting moments. Beliefs and practices. Focus on the impression of a moment, emphasizing light and movement, using visible short brushstrokes and pure colors to depict everyday scenes. Artistic interpretation. In Claude Monet's Impression Sunrise, 1874, loose brushstrokes and focus on light capture the momentary effect of the sun over the water, prioritizing perception and over detailed realism. Post-impressionism. Proponents: Vincent van Gogh. Flourishing context. Late 19th century, 1880s, 90s in France, building on Impressionism but reacting against its limitations. Beliefs and practices. Move toward more subject expression, using color and forms for symbolic, structural, or emotional impact rather than solely naturalistic representation. Artistic interpretation. Vincent van Gogh. The Starry Night, 1889, uses swirling, expressive brushstrokes and intense colors to convey the artist's emotional state and a personal, dynamic vision of the sky, going beyond mere visual reality. Cubism. Proponents: Pablo Picasso. Flourishing context. Early 20th century, 1907-1914. In Paris, pioneered by Picasso and Georges Braque. Beliefs and practices. Revolutionary approach to representation, depicting subjects from multiple viewpoints simultaneously to represent the subject in a greater context, breaking down and resembling objects in abstract forms. Artistic interpretation. Pablo Picasso. Les Demoiselles Avignon, 1937, is a seminal work where female figures are fragmented into geometric shapes and depicted from multiple angles, challenging traditional perspective and the female nude. Fauvism. Proponents: Henri Matisse. Flourishing context. Early 20th century, 1904-1908, in France. Belief and practices. Characterized by bold, unconventional use of intense color as a primary structural and expressive element, often applied in a direct and mixed way. Artistic interpretation. In Henri Matisse, The Red Studio, 1911, everyday objects and the room itself are rendered in flattened perspectives and saturated red house, using color to create mood and structure rather than mimic reality.